You're live.
I'm live? Say it.
You're live.
Thank you. I have to turn my camera. My clock. It's 8:58.
We're building an audience.
All right,
We
cool.
have 6 people on.
Cool.
Kenneth Covington is on.
Cousin Kenneth. Hey, Ken, remember I used to cross you up?
Hello. Really? Really?
Hello, Damona. How you doing?
Excuse me.
I can still do it, Kenny. I can still do all that. All right. It's 8:58. We're going to launch right at 9 o'clock on the dot.
Mm-hmm.
What should we talk about tonight?
I don't know. I know Kenneth is laughing at you.
He would laugh at me.
Damona says, hey, she's great. Hi, Brian.
Hello,
I'm
Damona.
great.
What do you call Damona?
Damona Zabru.
Damona Zabru.
Yes, you have to say it. Sexy.
I ain't got to say it sexy. You say
It's the sexiest name. I love that.
Damona is the sexiest name?
I love it. No, the whole thing. Damona Zabru.
All right. All right, it's 8:59. I'm about ready to roll. When the time comes, baby, do your thing. While I'm intro music.
Nadine Dillon, Misty Jacket. So,
Hello, Miss Nadine Dillon. Misty who? Jackson?
Yes.
Hello, Misty, out of Greensboro. How you doing?
Teach us your awesomeness, oh wise one.
Is that what she said?
Yes.
You gonna get some awesome tonight.
I got you, Misty. I speak spell check.
All right, it's 9.
No, it's not. It's 8:59, but I'll go for you.
Let's go. We gotta use this every time.
Oh, Lord. I don't know if I'm up to that.
This is my new intro music with a jazzy flow. And this is Monday Night Sales Mastery. Each Monday night at 9 p.m. from 9 to 9:30, I offer something. I offer something where I can help someone to sell themselves and their services better than they ever have before. I am a sales coach. And for more than 25 years now, I've studied the craft of selling. You can turn that down, baby. Studied the craft of selling and helping others to sell. And since 2010, formally since 2010, my company's been going full-time. Since January of 2010. So 6 years now, I've just done nothing but help people to sell better. And there's things you learn. I got into sales myself when I was 23 years old. And I'm 49 now. So you help me with the math. But I remember when I was 24 is when I discovered books on sales. I was 24 years old, and since the age of 24 to now, I have consistently studied the craft. I have consistently helped many women to sell better, and I've learned some stuff. There's some things. Now, have you ever noticed how some people always seem to have fun in selling? They enjoy the process, and they always seem to make money. And then there's always those other folks who bitch and moan, who don't really enjoy the process, who don't like sales, and they don't make money because of it. They find it difficult. They say trite things to themselves. Well, I don't want to sell. If they want it, they should just buy it. Or I don't want to talk anybody into it. Blah, blah, blah. All those things keep you broke. That kind of thinking keeps you broke in sales. Sales, and listen to me carefully, is not an event. Sales is not an event. It is a process. It's still amazing to me how many people I talk to on a daily basis, and my wife, who's typing in right now, can attest to it, still think, and they still have the erroneous attitude that if they showcase what they have and the person doesn't buy, that the game is over. They never follow up again. They never send a thank you note. It's just over. And what they do is they chase new leads all the time, like a bee going from flower to flower, just flitting from flower to flower to flower to flower. That's it. And they're not having any lasting success. And they find themselves, when you have the attitude of just chasing new leads all the time, trying to get leads, finding up, all that kind of stuff, what happens is you have to constantly restart your business. You're not building anything. You have nothing to build upon. It's like every month and every week you're having to start over.
Tammy Myers agrees, and Damona says yes.
Well, we're going to fix that now. Okay, we're going to fix that. Selling is a process, not an event. It's a process. Tonight you're going to learn the right attitude to make sales. So let's say, yes, ma'am.
Thank you for your comments and your likes. Please comment and share for the Facebook algorithms. Thank you.
Tonight you're going to learn some stuff that you're going to find it much easier to get through your days. Much easier. A couple of things I want to get out of the way. What is, and you've all heard me say this to you before, what is the highest paying profession on average in our country? What profession pays more on average than any other profession? If you've heard me ever talk about this before, you know the answer. The highest paying profession on average in our nation is professional athlete. The average NBA player makes $5.5 million. Baseball players make more. Basketball, baseball, football players, they earn more on average than any other profession in our nation.
Misty says sales. Thank you for sharing.
It's not sales, Misty, but good guess. The second highest paying profession on average in our nation is actors and actresses. Actors and actresses. I mean, a bit player on a sitcom is going to make 75, 85 grand a week with only 1 or 2 lines. 75 grand a week on a sitcom. I mean, in movies, they make even more. The third highest paying profession, and Misty is right, the third highest paying profession on our average in our nation is sales. And isn't it interesting that the 3 highest paying professions on average in our nation can all fit neatly into the same category, which is the entertainment field.
Really?
Yes.
You put sales in entertainment.
Yes, because when you are performing as a salesperson, you are just as much a performer as an actor or actress. You're not designed to entertain them as have fun, ha ha ha, but what you're doing, you have to act as if you were a champion in your game. You have to act as a professional would act. You have to perform your lines just like an actor or an actress. They have to rehearse their lines. Actors, they have a script. They have a cue cards. They have to rehearse it. Now, great actors and actresses, they don't read the script when they're on screen. They ad lib a little bit. They add more to it. They put some oomph into it. They put some feeling into it. But they still have a general idea of the lines that they're going to say in this particular performance. Amateurs in sales, they figure it out. They wing it. They try something different all the time. Professionals build a sales talk. Many great companies in our country were built on one sales talk. IBM, for example. IBM was built on one sales talk. Every salesperson had to say the same thing. And at one time, IBM was the #1 company in the world, built on one sales talk.
Misty said that she performs for every client 100. And Damona says that she never thought of it that way. While Tammy says conducting a presentation to get the audience involved or engaged in the products or services. What's up, family online, getting this awesome knowledge? Spencer!
That's right. All those, thank you for the commentary. We appreciate the commentary. You won't throw me off, so please keep the commentary coming. Yes, you must perform. Now think about this kind of person who performs as a loser. Have you ever had a salesperson that come up to you and you could just tell right away that this person really needs this sale? Have you ever had that happen? Have you ever had a salesperson try to sell something to you and you could practically read it on their forehead? I need money. Have you ever had that happen to you? And if it ever did happen to you, did you ever feel compelled to buy what that person had? Most of the time, you immediately did not want to buy what they had because of their attitude towards you. They weren't looking at you like a person. They were looking at you like they needed you for groceries. They needed you for their light bill. That is not the way to make money in sales.
Yeah.
Performing matters. You are just as much a performer as an actor or actress. You have to perform as a champion would perform. Now, I'm going to show you something here that's going to help you. I'm going to teach you. Tonight will not be wasted time. Every single person on this broadcast tonight will be better at selling their services when I'm done talking tonight.
We going to do anything with that baseball you got over there?
This right here?
Yeah.
Do you know what this is?
It's a baseball, right?
It's not a baseball. It's not a baseball.
I know what it is.
Anybody has a guess? Let them guess. Let them guess. Don't tell, baby. But if anybody has a guess at what this is, I would love for you to type it out and tell me what it is. Okay? Guess what that is. We'll get to that.
Okay.
Now, another
Jim
thing.
Wiggins, Trent Wilson, thank you for joining.
What's up, Trent? What's up, Jim? How you doing? I love Trent is a soldier. He's an educator. He's a coach. His children are into sports. He's the kind of guy who is always fully engaged in life. So I love Trent. Thank you.
9-10.
Anybody got a guess yet? Let's go to work. Let's go to work.
Tammy does have a comment. You have to take a positive approach in your performance and keep smiling and stay ambitious in your drive to persuade the buyers.
Yes, and yes, and yes. Okay? For what Tammy just said. Now listen to this. There was a TV show. A lot of you guys have heard me mention this before, but this is appropriate to bring it up tonight. There was a TV show in the 50s in this country called The Millionaire. The Millionaire, the star of the show was a guy named Michael Anthony. And Michael Anthony worked for a millionaire named Mr. Tipton. And Mr. Tipton used to like to give away checks for $1 million to random strangers. So what he would do is he would hire Mr. Anthony and give him a check for $1 million. And Mr. Anthony's job was to go into neighborhoods and he would knock on the door. How you doing? My name is Mr. Michael Anthony. Do you have a few moments? I would like to talk to you about yourself. And he would try to get into their house and sit there with them and have coffee and cake and just talk to them about their life. And based upon how that conversation went, he would give them a check for $1 million.
Kenneth Covington has a guess, and he calls it a graph.
A graph? This?
Yeah.
Very good guess. Very good guess. That's not it either. But I will get to it. I promise I won't keep it a secret. I will tell you what this is. All right. So sometimes Mr. Anthony would knock on the door and people would be very rude to him. Get the hell out of here. Slam the door in his face. And he would just turn around, walk down the driveway with a smile on his face, and just go to the next door because he knew in his chest pocket he had a check for $1 million. And the person that was just rude at him didn't get the check. And he knew all he had to do was be nice to him and then get a check for $1 million. He had a $1 million attitude because he knew he had something that they wanted. He knew that if he gave it to them, they'd be super happy. Yes, ma'am?
Misty said, find a need, feel a need, believe in the solution.
Yeah, that's true. That find a need, feel a need. Here's what happens. The reason why I can't give with Tammy and Misty, I didn't really overboard, enthusiastically endorse it, is because when people get their butt kicked, a lot of times that goes away. Yep. And when I say when their butt gets kicked, Misty and Tammy, it's like when you miss a few sales.
No's.
When you get a few no's. This is what I see as the biggest disease and today in sales. The biggest disease is not trying anymore. Here's what happens. Go ahead.
And Artrianua.
Okay.
I hope I know I butchered that name. I'm sorry. She said life
exactly. You to Marchi?
No.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Life exactly what I do as a warm-up insurance sales, now working on closing for small business loans.
Okay. Now here's when I was saying people get their butts kicked. A lot of times when they come out of training or they get some new information, they go out there in the unsuspecting sales world and they offer their services. And then when the person says no, and they say, okay, I'm going to try again. They go offer it to someone else, and then they say no. Someone else is rude to them. And then after a while, they start second-guessing themselves, and then they ask for business less and less and less until they don't ask at all. That's the problem with sales today. Salespeople today never even ask for business anymore. I think today's salesperson has gotten so wimpy. They never even say, will you give my services a try? Will you hire me? Will you give me a check? Because they get their butts kicked enough times. Their attitude is off. That's the malaise. This is what I see. I'm in the industry every day, elbow deep. I see it, I see it, I see it. They get their butts kicked, and what they do is they fool themselves into thinking that they're doing their job by doing great presentations. They do a great presentation, but they never ask for money.
Tammy says you have to prepare yourself for rejections in order to receive open exception. It can be discouraging, but you got to keep the mojo going.
Well, that's right. And last Monday night, we talked about the value of rejection. There's some value in rejection. So if you didn't see last Monday night's broadcast, it's on my page under my videos, the value of rejections. That was last week's talk, okay? So when people get their butts kicked, it's a lot of times some of the things that Tammy and Missy were saying, that tends to go less and less and less until not at all. So tonight I want to give you a solution to that. Okay?
Misty, real quick, says, scared of the no, but you already have the no if you don't ask.
That's true. That's true. Mm-hmm. And that right there is a more healthy attitude. If you don't ask, you already got your no.
Right.
But if you do ask, there's nothing ventured, nothing gained. That's the road that it seems like Misty is going on.
Absolutely.
Okay? So here's what you got to know. There's some stuff that you need to know. The average sale in the United States happens after the 5th attempt. The average sale happens after the 5th attempt. Now, if you present to them, but you never tell them how much your service charge, if you never ask for their business directly, that does not count as an attempt. That counts as an incomplete. But if you do your whole thing and you ask for the business and they say no, that counts as one attempt. So let's say after that's over, the next day, you follow up with them and give them a call and say, thank you very much for the time that you gave me yesterday to showcase for you what I have. Now that you've had a night to consider it, are there any new questions you have? Maybe there was a question that you had last night that you didn't get a chance to ask, and maybe I can answer it for you today. That gives them another chance to say yes or no to your service. That's 2 attempts. A week later, 2 weeks later, you can send them an email, sending a formal thank you. You can follow up. The average sale happens after the 5th attempt. Most salespeople in our country today never ask for the business. They ask for the business 0 times. The average salesperson with some training will ask for the business once or twice, but then never again. And then never again. That's the average salesperson. Only the champions will follow up with people. Only the champions will follow up with people the requisite number of times that 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 times over time, over the course of a year. I'm going to say something very bold to you tonight. Every sale that you do, every presentation you do, whether they buy or not, can eventually become a sale.
Sherry Shepard joined. Thank you for joining.
Everyone that has said no to you, those people still can become sales. Here's the other challenge too. Most of the salespeople never even hear the client say no. They never even tell them no. They say, well, not right now, can't afford it, too busy. They give all these other excuses, but they never formally say the word no. Now, I'm going to give you guys a name. The name I want to give you is Joe Girard. Joe Girard was the world's greatest salesman, according to Guinness Book of World Records, in the 70s. For like 11 years in a row, he was the world's greatest salesman. And he sold cars one at a time. And what Joe Girard did was, the average salesperson was selling 8, 10, 12 cars a month. Joe was selling 50 cars a month, 60, 100, 112 was his record. Cars in a month, just one at a time, to different families, one at a time. How did he do that? What Joe Girard did was, back in the 70s, this is before email, this is before text messages, this is before Google, this is before cell phones. Joe Girard used the daggone snail mail. Regular mail. Anybody who's ever gave him any kind of information at all, he kept sending them mail every month. He sent letters to everyone who was interested in him at all, or even thought about getting a car. Even after they bought cars, he sent letters to them, thousands of letters every single month is what he was doing. And what happened was, his name was the name that everyone knew. Back in the 70s, he put his picture on his card with a pose like this. You know, he had his picture on his card. Maybe that's where I get that pose from.
Yeah, I wasn't going to say anything. Miss Alaska says, I want to be the man in selling my bus project. Now.
And here's how you do that, okay? You make sure that you think of it as a process. Think of it as you have something of value that they want. This is something, I'm losing my time real fast, but I need to say this to you too. Anybody got any more guesses as to what this is? Okay,
any more guesses?
I'll get to it.
It's not a baseball.
It's not a baseball. It's not a basketball.
And it's not a graph.
But it is pertinent to the night, though. We'll get to that. All right. Think of it this way. Selling is a process. It does not end. The game is not over when they don't buy from you.
Nadine says it's two faces.
That's closer.
But no.
But it's not it. Let me just go ahead and tell what it is.
No, not yet.
Not yet? Okay, good. I got my wife here. She's the director, so I'm going to go ahead. All right. But Nadine is closest guess so far.
Thank you all for sharing, everyone that shared tonight.
All right. Now, selling is a process. It's not an event. Now, before I get into the secret here, you selling your services to a client, is that something that you do to the client, or is that something that you do for the client? And don't be so quick to answer, because I know a lot of people will knee-jerk and say, well, it's something I do for them. I'm not doing it to them. I'm doing it for them. And then when I question them, they can't defend it. Now, if you can't defend it, you don't mean it yet. So you think it's something that you do for them or to them? Are you sure you think it's for them? How do you know that it's something for them? If you can't answer that, think about it. Get an answer. Here's how you know if it's something for them. Are you sure that after they buy from you, that they're better off having what you sold, or are they better off having the money that it took to get it? Like if it took $500 to get what you offered, and they bought it from you, are they better off having what you sold them, or are they better off having the money? If you're not sure, you need to study what you offer until you are. If someone buys, I'm a sales coach, someone hires me to teach them how to sell, and I charge them 10 times more than I charge right now, I know they still getting a better deal, because the stuff I teach them, even if I charge 10 times more, the stuff I teach them is going to help them to earn money now. It's going to help them to earn money next month, next year, 2 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years, for the rest of their lives. The stuff I teach them, I know will help them to earn money for the rest of their lives, which will far exceed what I'm going to offer, what I'm charging. Yes, ma'am.
Artranua says, is there an exception to the rule in the 5 attempts when it comes to product services?
What do you mean, is there an exception to the rule? I would have followed. It doesn't matter to me the number. That's the other thing, too. You and I saw this happen yesterday, baby, when I was talking to one client. Some salespeople keep negative stats, okay? Negative stats, things like, how many sales have I missed? How many phone calls have I called and they didn't answer? Those stats do not serve you at all. The only things that count are the number of presentations you do, full presentations, and the people who said yes. That's the only stat you need to really track. I don't want you to make 50 phone calls in a day. I don't want you to make 70 calls in a day. I don't want you to go to 55 appointments a day. I don't want you to do that. I need to tell them what this is now.
It's 9:23. Misty and Damona both say what they do is selling for them. Misty says she believes that it will benefit them, and Damona says that you're providing $1 million service.
That's right. If you know your service is worth more than the money you're asked. Now, if you, Misty and Damona, I'm asking you two ladies specifically, if you know that what you're offering them is for them, and if you know they're better off having what you offer than not having it, then if that means, if you know they're better off, that means you kind of owe it to them to say and do whatever you got to do to motivate them to own it. You owe it to them, because if you don't do all you can to help benefit them, then you are committing what's called the sin of the desert. Have you heard of the sin of the desert before? The sin of the desert is when you know where the water is, but won't tell enough other people about it. When you know what the solution is, but you won't motivate them to take advantage of it. You owe it to them to do what you got to do to help them to get it. I have to tell them what this is now.
All right.
What this is the key to sales success diagrammed. If you will do what this is, you cannot fail in sales, no matter what you sell. What this is to get belly to belly with at least 4 people a day, telling them what you do and offering it to them. Nowadays, you don't even have to get belly to belly. Phone call to phone call, ear to ear, direct communication. 4 direct communications per day. You cannot fail in sales. I defy you to try that. I challenge you to prove that stat wrong, just for a day. If you're in Mary Kay and you let 4 people know that you help them with Mary Kay, you help them to make sure that they look their very best every single day, and if they want to look their very best every single day, if they want to maintain their personal esteem by looking their very best every single day, you can help them to do that. If you let 4 people know per day that you can help them to look their very best every day, you cannot fail.
Damona calls it the 3-foot rule.
Don't do the 3-foot rule. The 3-foot rule is horrible and it's antiquated. The 3-foot rule is anybody gets within 3 feet of you, you're supposed to tell them about what you do. Don't do that, because what it does is it wears you out, for one thing. You can't do it for any length of time. You go grocery store, you go to the gas station. Don't do the 3-foot rule, please. That is very, very, very old counsel. If you're trying to sell today the way you sold 5 years ago, you're losing ground. The 3-foot rule is something that they did in the 80s and 90s and 70s. Don't do the 3-foot rule. Don't try to do the 3-foot rule. Do the right rule. I don't believe you need to go out to prospect, but you should prospect while you're out. Damona, simplify the process for you. Make it easier for yourself. Like, for example, if anybody takes money from you, they should get your business card too. That means if you pay a bill or tip your waitress. My wife and I, we eat out all the time.
Damona says Mary Kay still teaches a 3-foot rule.
I know, but that's very bad counsel. Lisa, do we eat out?
Yes, every day.
Do we tip?
Every day.
We tip good?
Yes.
What percentage of the people we tip don't get a business card from either me or you?
None.
No, we have to do that. Has it ever worked out where it made us money by doing that?
Yes.
Of course it has. It doesn't take any more time.
No.
It takes no more time. You're there in your wallet anyway. If they take money from you, they get your card too. Make sure your picture's on your card, though. Don't do the 3-foot rule. Mary Kay teaches the 3-foot rule. I'm telling you now, first off, you've never done the 3-foot rule successfully, and neither has anybody else in your company. No one else ever has done that successfully. 3-foot rule, anybody gets within 3 foot of you. That's basically your arm length or stride. When anybody walks that close to you, you have to tell them about Mary Kay. Don't do that. Let that go now. I have many.
She said yes, sir. Damn.
I have many Mary Kay clients in my clients. Some of my most successful clients are Mary Kay people. I have one Mary Kay client up in New Jersey. She's just got her 9th pink Cadillac, her 9th vehicle with Mary Kay. And she worked with me 2 years ago, and she still tells me the stuff she learned from me 2 years ago has helped her to sell way better than she ever did before. She's been with Mary Kay 18 years. What's that, 4 minutes? Are you kidding me? Jesus.
Minister Rosa Hodge is on.
Hello, Minister Rosa. How you doing? The attitude that you need to have is, if the game is only over when you stop playing. The attitude is, you have $1 million check in your chest pocket. It doesn't matter if they buy or not. You know, if you will just let enough other people know your story, you know, if you will genuinely try to help people, you will make money. In sales, listen to me carefully, you cannot fail. Sales is honest. Your hard work pays more. The easy work pays less. If you will showcase what you do the right way, if you will learn the words you need to learn, if you will study your craft, if you will let people know, if you'd resolve to not be a secret agent. A secret agent is someone that's in business but won't let people know they're in business. Here's a painful thing. You go to the family reunion and you're all sitting around eating, and then someone else is visiting the family reunion, and then they tell somebody in your family what they do, and then somebody in your family buys it from them, and the thing that they bought from them is something that you sell, but you never told your uncle about it.
Oh.
You know, you were a secret agent. I figured he's not going to have enough money to buy this. Terrible thing that can happen.
Thank you for sharing.
You owe it to people. Your attitude needs to be, you cannot fail. You cannot fail. You are just as much a performer. I had a buddy of mine named Thomas. Thomas told me, he used to ride with me on a lot of sales calls. And back when I was an over-the-road salesperson, I had gotten very, very good at it, so I never really went on a sales call by myself. I always took a new guy. You forgot to remind me to be still. I know I've been all over the place.
Yeah, I get tired of trying.
You got to remind me to be still.
It's like babysit.
One time Thomas needed some money. He needed some money, and he went on a sales call with me, because he knew all he had to do was be with me. And if I made a sale, he got half the commission. And I wasn't really feeling it before we went on the sales call. And then Thomas told me, he said, Brian, stand up straight. I said, what's up, man? He says, do this. I said, why do you want me to do that? He goes, because whenever you do this, you make money whenever you do that. Now, he had been with me for years. He had seen when I was about to go into an appointment, I would get myself ready. And then I would go in there and go do my thing. And he needed some money, so he needed Brother Brian to do his move, so he had a chance to make some money. There is an attitude. Selling is not an event. It's a process. Everybody that you showcase to, just keep following up in a systematic way. You know, most people never even send a thank you note to anybody, but you should do it. Send thank you notes to everybody that you can. Send them a simple 2 or 3 sentence thank you note saying,
excuse me,
thank you for the opportunity to serve. Thank you for the time you gave me to showcase what I do. When's the last time you got a thank you note? Sending 3 thank you notes a day, 15 a week, 60 a month. Next month you make a whole lot more money and it'll come out of the walls. That's simple. All right, it's 9:30. Give me my music, baby. All right, I hope somebody on this broadcast today got something. Selling, you can't fail in it if you do your best every day. If you perform the way a champion will perform. If you will call me up, here's my number. 345-4893. 919-345-4893. Here's another thing you need to know. This is 30 minutes. I have a private Facebook group where once this broadcast is done, I go into that room and we deep dive into it. And I spend about an hour in the private group after this. Now, in the private group now, I charge for that. If you want to know how much I charge for that private group, it's once a month. I charge $25 a month for that.
For 1 hour a week in the deep dive session?
1 hour a week. Plus I post other videos too.
I haven't approved that.
Yeah.
That's
what
good.
That's what I do. But in the private group, it's about an hour a week.
Yeah.
With a video. But also I post some of my other stuff and some of my writings in there. That is just a group where I can just give them some stuff. It's in group format. It's not one-on-one or anything like that.
That's still
But
good.
for $25 a month, $25 a month, that's all it is. And you'll get some private, much more deep in detail about what we did. Thank you guys. You honor me with your presence. Yes, ma'am?
The fortune is in the follow-up.
The fortune is in the follow-up. I'm going to call that a night. I'll see you here next Monday night Sales Mastery.